viewers, and welcome to Forge of Champions. My name is Jake Hitbrain Matthews, and I am joined by Rick Saga Sharples.
Certified gamer here, signing in, reporting for duty.
How you doing, man? It's been a while.
Doing pretty good. I had a Nando's by myself today. Excellent experience, and now
Solid.
I'm ready for some League of Legends.
Was it cheeky?
Pretty cheeky.
Pretty cheeky. Speaking of cheeky, things have changed here at the Forge of Champions. Now, the way everything is going to work is a little bit different from previous seasons of the tournament. So, previously we had 4 teams all coming in from the Open Division, playing their way through Forge of Champions with a shot at making it into the promo relegation stage, and then eventually qualifying for the UKLC. Now, qualification through the promo relegation that is tied to Forge of Champions is still existing here in this tournament, but the way that teams achieved that and made it here is a little bit different. So we have 4 spots for open to the general public, so to speak, and they were through multiple different ways. So the first way to qualify was through the Belong Arena Clash qualifiers, which ended at Insomnia, where they played through there. The second was actually through the Insomnia Masters, also at Insomnia. You could qualify through the Open Cup they were playing in that tournament. The next one is actually, if you are a university gamer, you can actually qualify through the NSE, our university bros. They did get themselves a spot in there, and that's Degree. I believe he made it in through them. And then the 4th spot was pretty much standard stuff for Forge of Champions. It's all about qualifying through that open qualifier that is tied to Forge of Champions, but started a few weeks back.
Absolutely, and I'm excited to see how the changes will affect the level of the teams that we have coming in, because these guys are coming from all different competitive backgrounds, and it's really going to be exciting to see exactly what they can bring to the table and switch things up a little bit.
Well, if you want to actually get involved in the conversation, you can actually head over to our Twitter at LVPUKLOL. Make sure you use that hashtag. There we go, Forge of Champions. It's been a while since we've done that one, mate.
We have to do it while Dan's not here.
Yeah,
squeeze them in.
He's gonna be watching at home, crying away. But if you also want to catch up on any of the previous videos, you can actually head over to our YouTube channel. Can you do a play button?
I think we tried that once. I think we should leave it.
There we go. Through our play button. UK, what is it? LVP UK LOL. There we go. I forget the name. I threw myself on the play button stuff, mate. I'm not gonna lie.
Same as the Twitter. If you
if you're
if you left your brain cells at home,
you can watch all of our previous videos over there. So Forge of Champions, this is your first one.
it is.
How you feeling about that?
It's looking good. The studio is
The same.
looking good. We're ready to go. It's comfortable at home. Been here before.
We're in
No
the bedroom once
surprises,
again.
no
I've had a
curveballs
week off from EU Masters. Time to kind of, recharge the battery, so to speak, get ourselves ready to go. But I'm really excited to see how this is going to actually get shown down, because we've got 4 teams who are all looking, pretty good, like new teams anyway. There's a bunch of old teams. But actually, one of the key things to note, speaking of our bunch of old teams, is there are 2 teams who are currently in the relegation zone. That is Envision and Barrage. Now, previously in the UKLC, we actually had 9 teams in the cup, but coming into 2020, there's actually only going to be 1 spot remaining. So we will be losing one of those teams and potentially another one, and be joined by a new team through the promos. So that's going to be coming up at the end of Forge of Champions. So I'm pretty excited to see how that's going to work. But for now, let's have a little look at the bracket and see how everything for this tournament will be playing out. So we'll be starting today with Barrage versus the Belong Steelers, our representatives coming from the Belong Arena Clash. Then our next game of the day, in a best of 3, by the way, didn't mention that earlier, is Diabolus versus Barrage Retirement Home. How did they qualify?
They came through the Forge of Champions Open tournament, so that is the traditional old school style. Proved they were the best and made it here in style.
All right, and then our games tomorrow will be Envision Esports, we know them, versus Degree. Clues in the name, they're coming from university, from the NSE. And then our next matchup will be Enclave versus Bulldog Esports.
Yeah, it certainly will be. That is your Insomnia representatives from the Open tournament. Bring your own computer level stuff in Birmingham earlier in this year. And that was actually one of the teams you mentioned before that we had relegations where some of these teams could potentially drop out. Last year, both of them were unfortunately dropped from the league and replaced with
being one of them.
Yeah, with Envision and Demise coming in. And Demise had a really good run actually, and Envision definitely showed a lot of promise. And it looks like Bulldog is now looking to make their mark and get themselves back in where they belong in UKLC.
Well, Forge of Champions is a micro tournament that we kind of run alongside with the UKLC, and obviously the end goal for a lot of these new teams and these teams in relegation is to remain there. So we're gonna have a little look at what these teams are playing for with a quick video from our finals from the UKLC Summer Split live at Twickenham.
We are here today at Twickenham Stadium. Our grand finals are going to be between Fnatic Rising, the defending champions, and XL UK. This final is so hard to call. XL are coming in with a lot of experience on their roster, but Fnatic are young and hungry.
Going into the finals, I'm definitely feeling really confident. Most of the games that we lost against Fnatic was on ourselves, so I don't think we'll make the same mistake today.
I feel really hyped to play today. We should win this one. I think it should even be easy for us, to be honest. Winning the finals will be incredible.
Give us a big cheer as we head on into our first game of the grand finals.
The Infernal is the first one to start up, and the fight is breaking out. That's game one. Fnatic take it.
Fnatic take things to match point.
And we have a series. XL bring it back, but it's Fanny finds himself a double kill. He's teleporting into the base. Fnatic are going for the win right here. Put your hands together for your UKLC Summer Champions, Fnatic Rising.
Being able to prove that we are the best team feels really satisfying because at the end we have put so much work into it. I really felt like the crowd and the atmosphere during this final was really energized and they were enjoying the game. We really enjoyed taking part of this final.
We should have 3-0'd. Individual plays were just not on point today. And I think this kind of caused us to not be able to play the game how we usually play.
Lifting the UKLC trophy is like a good moment to share with my teammates, and I'm really happy that we managed to do it together.
That was honestly such an incredible finals. Big thank you to everyone actually came down to Twickenham to see it. The energy you guys provided for us was just fantastic. I was on the side of the stage just feeding off the energy from the cheers from the crowd. It was fantastic. It was honestly a great experience, and it was really humbling to be there and have, you know, two of the best teams from the UK battling it out at Twickenham.
Two teams that had absolutely towering presence in the UK scene in the previous split. They completely dominated the competition all throughout the entire split. It was just constantly a neck and neck battle between them. And really, all in all, it kind of came down to that finals where, yeah, like you said it yourself, it was electric. It was so hyped and there was so much energy and so much hype around the two teams, and it certainly delivered. So that is exactly what all the teams that we have here in Forge of Champions will be looking to replicate for themselves.
Well, both Fnatic and XL did actually go to the European Masters and represent us there. Fnatic made top 4, so, you know, they can walk away with their heads held high coming out from that. But we are now done with the UKLC for now. We're also done with UU Masters because that's all in the past. It's all about Forge Champions, and we're going to look into the future as our first matchup of the day is going to be the Belong Steelers versus Barrage, a team in relegation versus one of our Belong Arena Clash teams coming in.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting matchup because Barrage didn't have a very impressive UKLC split. Unfortunately for them, they weren't able to replicate any of the success that they had previously. So they've kind of been struggling. They've changed up a lot of things even throughout the middle of the split. They made some adjustments to their roster to see if they were able to find some more success. They did get a point. That's something, at least. But overall, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't enough to get themselves out of relegation. So they're really kind of, struggling a little bit.
They didn't submerge.
They did not submerge to the depths.
they did submerge. They went even deeper down.
They did. So they're really looking to step it up and prove that this new roster that they've built for themselves is what it takes for them to be able to maintain their spot in UKLC.
Well, let's have a little look at our rosters for our two teams that are going to be playing here in this matchup. Starting up on the blue side, it is the Belong Steelers in the top lane. Arc the Dragon, Casanero in the jungle. One more light in the mid lane. Liam is AD carry and Drazar as support.
And Barrage, do you come here often? That's an icebreaker right there. You've got Monkeys in the jungle, Diva in mid, KDO in the bot lane, and Fastleg back on support.
Good stuff by them. I'm really excited to see how this Barrage are going to kind of show up here versus the Belong Steelers. I've actually, way back when, I casted this team for a very long time. They're actually a team that has been playing as a team for a fair amount of time now. I mean, I haven't casted the Arena Clash for a year now, and I've casted that for 2.5 years, I believe, before this. And Art the Dragon and Catanera especially are two names that jump out to me. I've been watching them for a while. They've been playing together for a while, so maybe that kind of veterancy together, not really veterans, but you know, the experience they have together.
The synergy between the two. And that's something that's going to be potentially lacking. As we said, this is a new roster that Barrage has put together. So it might just come down to the individual performance, the individual outplays, and people that we're looking towards that. KDO in the bottom lane, the first professional league player to come out of South Africa, is definitely a huge achievement for himself, and he's looking to carry that success into the game as well.
Well, our matchup to watch coming into this game is actually in the top lane. It's going to be
In the ceiling?
the ceiling. It is the ceiling. It is Art the Dragon versus Icebreaker. I'm pretty excited to see how these two match up. Like I said, I've been casting Art the Dragon for a while, but Icebreaker, a bit of a newer name to us. We're pretty excited to see what this guy's going to be pulling out, as he is on the Barrage roster. Maybe he can break the ice. Maybe that's why Barrage haven't been able to emerge, because they've been stuck under some ices. Be loading through into Champ Select in a second.
Yeah, not just yet. Jumping ahead of ourselves very slightly, but Arc the Dragon is definitely a name that stands out to me as a top performer for the T-side Belong Steelers. As when I was looking back at their performances in the semifinals and the grand finals at Insomnia, it was kind of a lot of resources being pushed towards the bottom side, into the bottom lane for the side of T-side Steelers. And then Arc the Dragon was just holding his own on the top lane, and he had a lot of success on picks like Renekton, and I believe Camille was another one that he picked up in the semifinal. So things that can fend for themselves in the top lane, ward off ganks, and just say, hey, don't come near me, because my guys are farming up down there. I'm doing my thing. And in the end, it's his solid, sort of rock solid performance in the top lane, no malfight intended, that gives the Steelers the time that they need for their bot lane to get to those item breakpoints and start winning the fights.
One of the actual key things to note is our things are the wrong way around, so we'll have to swap that. But one of the key things to note actually is that the Belong Steelers team will actually be playing in the same room together. They're actually playing in a Belong, I believe. I can't remember what town they're from.
T-side.
T-side, thank you. T-side Steelers. So they're in T-side. As you know, they're going to be together as a group where, you know, I'm not sure what the deal is with Barrage. I know some of these teams do have gaming houses and stuff, but I'm honestly not certain what the deal is with Barrage at the moment. But, you know, having everyone in the same room, being able to kind of get yourself warmed up and prepped together, get that thirst for blood as a group. How do you do that? Sacrifice a goat or something? You heard it here first. Belong Steelers, sacrifice a goat in the middle of a game.
Sacrifice your jungler if things get really bad. But no, Belong Steelers, you mentioned it before with the UKLC finals. When things are in the same room, the energy levels rise up, and a lot of teams can rely on that to propel themselves forward and get that momentum they need. So it can definitely be a huge advantage for these guys.
Alrighty, well, let's have a little look at what's been taken off the board so far. Udit, Pantheon, and Echo, all by Barrage. Belong Steelers, they're going to take away the Aurelia and the Xayah. Does mean that Yumi's open. We've seen a lot of preference on the Yumi, especially throughout the European Masters. It was pretty much perma-banned. I think it had a 100% pick ban rate.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's this patch or the next patch for Worlds, but there is a hefty nerf in the side lanes for Yumi, so potentially might be seeing it here, potentially might not be.
I believe we're on the Worlds patch,
yeah,
919, I think.
I think the slow reduction is really the major killer for a lot of lanes that Yumi wanted to be in. But I'm seeing the Pantheon ban come through. That's something that One More Light had a great performance on in his finals or semifinals performance. He does tend towards those AD assassins in the mid lane, just kind of opens things up to roam towards the bottom lane. As we said, they like to put resources down there.
Well, the Kiana's open if they want to get their hands on that. We can already see the Barrage pick up the Akali, flexible pick between the top and the mid lane, but the Kiana is potentially open. The Aatrox, the Sejuani, so many power picks open, and they're going to opt in for the Gangplank, so pick them as well for top laner. Someone who can kind of hold the wave at bay and offer a lot of help around the map with the Cannon Barrage.
That's exactly the style that we kind of expect to see from Arc the Dragon, though, is that just holding the wave and just playing safe and make sure you're not dying and getting dived under your tower. So Gangplank is definitely one that has the tools to allow that kind of play style. With the chow down an orange and ignore any CC, he should be relatively safe. That is an incredibly strong jungler locked in that can have a lot of impact early on in the game. Can clear relatively quickly, can join up with just about any melee champion in the game to have a really good synergistic combination. So potentially could be that Kiana we're looking at in the mid lane again. That double icy lockdown with the river element. Oh, man.
That's a dirty combo in the bot lane there for the new bot lane for Barrage. They pick up the Caitlyn Morgana, a famous bot lane to lock people in place, and now Belong looking for their answer. The moment hovering the Sivir, champion who can obviously absorb some of that CC, some of that pressure from the Morgana bindings. But I'd actually really like to see maybe a potential Aatrox here as well, because you can still put that in the mid lane if you'd like. Aatrox versus Sejuani. I've just spent a month with Veteran. This guy just goes on about how broken Sejuani Aatrox is. Does mean they'll overload themselves on AD damage. So for the moment, gonna pick themselves up the Sivir. Forgot the name there.
It's like Orcs again with Swain support, but
honestly, I just had it ingrained into me. The guy was just like, if you get Sejuani Aatrox, you win the game. And every time it happened, they was right. They won. Like it is a filthy combo. But for the moment, we're going to see some more traditional junglers get banned away from the side of Barrage, as they don't have a jungler. The Gragas is going to be taken away in Barrage. Maybe they can look to kind of focus out the support pool as the Karma's going to get taken away. Curious to see what the next bans are going to be.
Yeah, so for the side of the Steelers, you're going to be wanting to look for things that can kind of contest in the earlier stages of the game, because Akali, as soon as she gets to that level 6, her kill potential, especially in the solo lanes, if it's not a super strong mid laner that they lock in for themselves, goes way through the roof. And then they have incredible siege potential as well with this bot lane that's been locked in for them. So they're looking for engage for pick tools that can allow them to set up that kind of a play around any of the mid lane, maybe even the side lane turrets, and maybe just allow Akali to split push in the side lane. So taking away two of the most notorious pick-heavy style junglers in the Elise and the Gragas is definitely key for Belong.
However, if you're thinking pick, there's one champion that counters that Sejuani that has been left open, and it is the Skarner. And Munkers, we know he's capable of playing that. Also, his Kindred, if he wants to go back to Comfort, is open to him. But I would really like the Skarner. Offers them some pick potential. But for now, Belong looking to pick themselves up their support, keep their mid lane options open, and see where that Akali's going before they play something there. So it's going to be a Braum lock-in. Forgot the name of him as well. I'm having a great day. Only one game in. Best of 3. We've got 2 of them.
Oh boy.
Potentially 6 games, and I'm already forgetting champ names. Right, what Barrage going to be picking up here?
The bot lane for the Steelers, you said that Sivir can ignore some of that CC. Braum does a similar thing, just ignoring the damage on the follow-up. So as soon as, you know, that Morgana Dark Binding flies towards them, they both have answers for it.
I hate Vladimir. I hate Vladimir so much. He's a great team fighter, though, so maybe they're going to opt away a little bit from the picks and go for more team fight orientation here. So they do lock in that Vladimir. Again, flexible with the Akali. You don't know what's going where quite yet. They're now looking to pick up a jungler. What is going to be the jungle? The Jarvan, one we did actually kind of overlook here as well. Does offer that pick potential, but also key offers a good team fight.
It absolutely does, and if it can get ahead, you can go for the damage-heavy build, and it's pretty dangerous if you're playing a low-range, low-mobility AD carry like Sivir. If your flash is off cooldown, it's pretty rough if you get locked down in that Cataclysm, because then you're going to have the instant follow-up, the Akali diving on you, the AoE damage from Vladimir as well.
I mean, how could I not remember Orianna for One More Light? This guy loves this champion. This is a champion I've seen him play a lot. And just as a quick reminder, 919 is Worlds patch, so we were correct on that. So we are playing on that. Maybe that's why the Yuumi didn't see so much preference. Maybe these teams aren't quite connoisseurs in the Garen Yuumi bot lane yet.
Sounds a lot more difficult, though, with only a 20% slow on the Qs at all ranks.
Doesn't matter. You just max W on Garen, get full the tenacity, and just run at them.
Yeah, but they're going to be running away faster.
Yeah, but you have your Q. And you bop them.
You bop them.
You bop them.
Okay, so D.Va's going to be looking to bop One More Light in the mid lane, because Orianna is that traditional scaling teamfight mage, and she did actually see some buffs as well on this patch, specifically to the shockwave damage. So a huge combination potential. If you get that ball on the Sejuani, she dashes into the teamfight. You can get things initiated from the word go and look to delete some of these characters, but they have the Morgana, and if she places the Black Shield very well, can just cancel out a lot of that engaged potential from the side of the Steelers.
True, but I do genuinely think both of these teams are going to want a team fight. I think this is going to be a bloody game.
Oh, yeah.
You look at the comps, there's engage across the board. There's lots of follow-up damage to go with that. I mean, you got the On the Hunt with the Sejuani, with the Gangplank ulti, with the Shockwave, with Braum. Like, that is a horrible team fighting comp. But then on the other hand, you have an Akali whose job is to assassinate the AD carry before the fight breaks out. You got the turnaround with the Jarvan. You got... You know, you've just got so many tools with the Caitlyn Morgana to keep your Caitlyn alive. I am so excited to see this game, because I think we're in for a bloodbath game 1.
Yeah, and I think Sivir should feel relatively safe-ish from the Akali, because she has a very strong frontliner of the Sejuani and the Braum in front. So unless you're able to find a flank around the back and delete the Sivir in that way, she shouldn't feel too safe, but terrified rather. But what you shouldn't feel, what you should be terrified of in this is just the straight engage potential. It doesn't matter necessarily about the assassin, but if they can get on top of you with the Jarvan combo, the Vladimir AoE damage as well, that will hit the front line, and if it's placed well, the back line as well, and that is where the real threat comes from this comp.
I mean, maybe we're just going to switch to ARAM. Just play
Yeah,
ARAM
could-
here.
could
That'd
just be
fun.
one of them.
Can we make Fudge Champions an ARAM tournament? Just switch it up.
Depending on how this game goes, they might have already done it.
What other league, tell me, like, what other league actually plays their qualifiers as an ARAM? None.
There was like the MLG tournament in like season 3.
That, where are we now? What season are we now? 7,
Several
8?
seasons.
What's it?
Definitely 9.
9? Yeah, we're on 9. Season 10, yeah, because it's 10th birthday coming up for... I'm having a... Oh, God. How many games we got left?
I mean, this is what we get for putting a tournament on a Monday. The notorious day.
I'm Garfield. I hate Mondays. I do like lasagna, so I am Garfield.
Wow. You don't have to.
Yeah, I was about to. Oh, Lord. Well, we do have a quick pause, unfortunately, so we can look at his red air a little bit more before we get going. Yeah. You good?
Yep, pretty good.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
League of Legends.
League of Legends is a fun game when you get to play it. Or
And
watch
watch it.
it.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's not fun watching us. What I have noticed, though, right, bear with me. I'm buying time here. I'm blue side. You're red side.
That is
today.
true.
We did predictions, actually. Why don't we do those?
Yeah, we should do those.
What did we vote for? I voted Belong because I went for my boys, where, you know, where it all
you did.
started for me. You went Barrage.
I did. I went for a 2-0 for
You can-
Barrage.
I didn't actually do a number. I'm
Oh.
going to say 2-0 Steelers.
Okay.
And then Orcs. Orcs is wrong no matter what, but he went...
He did go
Barrage,
Barrage,
but-
so I am slightly sweating because of that.
All right, well, we take to the
Oh,
rift.
here we
and
go, level
already Monkeys has been caught out. Boomerang play to the face, and Art the Dragon finds first blood.
That is the start I was hoping for with my 2-0 prediction for Barrage as Monkeys hits the dirt at level 1. It's not often you see level 1 plays like this, but especially into a Morgana.
I mean, that just highlights Monkeys' season. Like, since the summer season, this guy was hyped as being one of the best junglers
Yes.
in the UK scene, runs into all of the Steelers and gets taken out. To be fair to him, his team should have awarded.
Yeah, it's like that over-enthusiastic kid in like every superhero movie who's like, yeah, I want to be a big guy, and then just get punched in the face repeatedly. Unfortunate for Monkeys. And now his buff's warded as well. So he's going to have an even tougher time to clear that one safely and then have impact in the lanes like we were expecting him to do from the side of Barrage if he wants to get that siege position in the bottom lane. To have some impact early on, and that ward is definitely going to give them all the information they need on where exactly he will be on the map.
And that first blood means that Art the Dragon actually went back to base, picked himself up a longsword. He's going to head to lane with that. Speed up the Triforce just a wee bit by 350 gold. Casaniro's doing a red side clear here, so pretty standard stuff. You can actually see that Monkeys is going for an invade at the moment. They're going to steal away those chickens,
going
or
early.
potentially just a first gank onto One More Light, as we're doing a weird replay, but One More Light's just jumping away from the gank. It's actually a Kleptomancy Orianna here.
Yeah, I noticed that the Kleptomancy wasn't on the gangplank, so I guess getting first blood is just like the, you know, the backup way of having Kleptomancy in the top lane. So you get the best of both worlds. You get the free gold, you get the free health. What more could you possibly want? But Orianna, again with the Kleptomancy, it's into a melee matchup, so should hopefully be proccing that as much as she possibly can in the early stages, just to get herself as much power as possible for that big, impactful ultimate at level 6.
I actually, in this particular matchup, I'm actually a really big fan of press the attack on Orianna. It's really, really nice. But you can already see there's a bot lane push here by Barrage, and that means that they're able to move in and just take away this blue buff. Casaniro's done a full red side clear and now is basing away, so he's not actually going to be able to get this buff. And Monkeys, with a free buff start, considering he did give up first blood, it's a good turnaround for him, and he's actually going for the Gromp here as well as Casaniro not even pathing towards it. So a lot been stolen away by Monkeys so far.
Thankfully, you don't need to get the kills to have impact in the jungle in the early stages of the game. And even though, as you say, he was taken down at level 1, he has cleared 3 buffs and still has 4 camps up and available. Casaniro might be looking to change that, though, as he's pushing in towards the top side.
You can already see Liam's been pushed down fairly low. Now D.Va will look to spot out Casaniro. Casaniro just clearing away the crab. They're aware that this is happening. Barrage can actually go for a bit of a pincer here. D.Va looks to spot Casaniro out, but Casaniro just looking to make his way out with that permafrost, trying to block that Q. Freezes him in place, gets over the wall. Casaniro nice and easy to get a great escape out.
Icebreaker was potentially looking to come down as well, but that will be the end of things. But that will mean that there's 4 camps still available for Monkeys in the jungle. So he's going to have a great experience despite the fact that he was killed early on. But there's one of those roots, and there's the follow-up.
That's the damage block from the Braum. That could have done so much more to him.
That's both the defensive tools from the Steelers bot lane, just nullifying a little bit of the pressure that you get from the Caitlyn Morgana, but still being shoved in very early on. They have the safety of Monkeys around in the bottom side, and they know exactly that Casanero has not been on his bottom side of the jungle because Monkeys took all of the camps there, so they feel relatively safe to push in for these tower plays.
Yeah, you can see Liam just very low on mana and health for the moment. The nurse to the Ricochet actually really starting to kind of bite them a little bit on the early shove as the Caitlyn and Morgana is able to do so much more work here on this shove. And they're just going to push in, take these plates away. You can already see that CS lead 10 up for KDO.
One more light. Ping's coming down onto him as he's looking to place some vision just to make sure that Monkeys can't be having as much impact as he has been having in terms of jungle camps, in terms of CS diff. 12 up. That's 3 camps over Casanero. Might be able to spot him out as well as he makes his way towards top side.
Looks like they do just narrowly avoid each other, but this time one more like no flash, playing quite far up in the wave, and now getting jumped onto. Already used that Shroud, is trying to jump away, knocks out on the knock-up. Is low HP though, as he is looking to go down here. Red buff will be enough from Monkeys, and he gets the burn. It's actually a smite, but we'll let that slide.
It was red though, so I will allow you to have it. Monkeys can knock him down, but he will just get straight back up. And yes, despite the fact he was taken down at level 1, he has been the story of this early game for Barrage, and that was optimistic at best.
I mean, that was a good dodge by Liam. Did force his flash out there. Now Casanero trying to see if he can do something versus Icebreaker. Already used the Hemo Plague. Has got that blood pool and holding it for the moment. He's going to use it now, and now he's got the teleport coming in. Monkeys is going for a dive in the bot lane. A 2-man knockup has come through, and KDO able to pick himself up a kill. Nice and simple. Fast, they tanking a lot of damage, but up the Dragon flashes away from D.Va, but D.Va's able to pick him up. Casanero turns it back around, and now D.Va being run down by multiple members by Casanero, but he slides out with a perfect execution for the double kill. That's 2 for Barrage.
And this is a Barrage lineup that has just come together, and already they look so on point with their communication. The teleport in from D.Va at just the right time as the dive is happening on the bot side, initiated by Monkeys. Everything all across the map going in favor of Barrage there. So well executed on both sides of the map.
Fantastically executed. There's one more light. Already had to use his teleport to rejoin into the mid lane after getting pushed up, so he was unable to join the fight. He's now down in CS and down 2 kills to this Akali. D.Va, this might just be the snowball start he needed. Let's have a little look at that fight once again.
Yes, Casanero makes his way in. Look at the dodge onto the actual stun from Sejuani. Goes into that ketchup pool, as you love to call it, and it baits them forward. So the teleport from D.Va is positioned directly behind the Belong Steelers members, and there is nowhere for them to go. They do find one, but D.Va still has that perfect execution. The second casting. And it's just too much of a Casanero to handle. Doesn't have level 6 yet. Has been kept behind in experience by Monkeys. He puts that to good use in the bottom lane as well. Picks off Liam under the tower too. So that's a kill in the hands of KDO. So he's already got 2 of the main components of the Infinity Edge.
All right, well, Casanero now hitting 6 has got his ultimate available to him. So keep our eyes on him and see where he decides to put that attention down. As Fastlike and KDO pushing up. Look at the damage they've done to this tower already. It's only 7 minutes in, and there's just so much additional gold given over to this team. Casanero looks for the roam, but there's a ward in the bush. He decides better of it, and actually just wants to pick the blue up and give that over. But there's actually a Monkeys moving around, seeing if he can steal this objective away. Casanero not been spotted quite yet. That's going to be the flag. Then the drag. Monkeys does have the dunk. D.Va and Fastlane coming in. Casanero jumps over the wall, but he gets chased after. Flashes out. Throws the ultimate onto one. Now he's being chased down.
Carly's
one more light.
back.
Can't come up in time. The shuriken flip is going to be enough, and D.Va picks the kill up.
Carly ultimate did just come back up, but it wasn't even needed. Just immediately executed with the backflip and the shuriken. And I want to point out, Liam sold his Doran's blade to pick up a BF sword. He has no sustain in this lane, and he might just get dived again.
Fast Leg's looking to cancel it out. Actually does get off the cancel in time. Spell Shield was used by Liam. Liam has that flash, but the flag and drag's not going to be enough to get the kill quite yet. As Liam jumping away, but he's burning down. Monkeys gets himself another kill, and Barrage are here to play.
Drazar could have potentially gone down there as well, but did have defensive summoners available. But again, not level 6. Can't have the huge Glacial Fissure to disengage and allow himself and Liam to get out safely. So again, Sivir getting taken down. A beautifully timed play from Monkeys there. Finding as much impact as he possibly can, and Casinero's back up top.
And Icebreaker actually jumps away. They use the ketchup already. Art the Dragon trying to get the barrels off in time. That's going to be a combo to pin him in place, and they might just give this kill over to Art as he gets it with a parlay to the face.
Yeah, this time that Sanguine Pool was used earlier, so the stacks from Sejuani's stun were not able to be dodged out of. So Icebreaker will be taken down for his second death of the game. Arc the Dragon has his 2 kills. This was the matchup that we pointed out should have the most impact in this game. And if Arc the Dragon is able to keep this ball rolling to get some more gold flowing into his back pocket, maybe it can be enough to start turning things around with that huge AoE teamfight presence in the ultimate. And then
Also,
scale up into the late game.
As this does scale, if Barrage let this game scale, the Steelers actually have a really, really solid scaling comp in the sense of wave clear as well as teamfight damage. It's going to be so hard to siege without Baron. You've got to think about the barrels. You've got a Sivir, an Orianna. You can't push without Baron. So if this game gets to the point where we're 25, kind of 30 minutes in, Barrage have to rely on Baron to win the game.
Yeah, this is exactly why I said that Monkeys is going to be looking to have an impact early in the game, and he definitely has. He's taken away a lot of camps and experience from Casanero. He's given D.Va the opportunity to be 3-0.
Icebreaker actually gets stunned up here. Takes some serious damage. The Ignite's going to come down. Ketchup Puddle's burnt, and Icebreaker, he's not going to melt today.
Does manage to get out, but he will be forced out of the lane. Doesn't have teleport up, but on the opposite side of the map, it's all about the Caitlyn and the Morgana. D.Va has made his way down as well, just going to force any possible defense away from the Steelers, and there should be a tower going down to Barrage, a second of the game at 11 or so minutes.
That's a lot of plates. They've already got 11 plates once this tower goes down. And now Casanero does find out D.Va. Looks to put him up with the permafrost. A lot of damage onto him. The shockwave pins him in place. And one more light gets himself a shutdown.
That is a lot of CC.
Icebreaker does a lot of healing actually here. Trying to get this concussive blow stacked up into the ketchup. For the moment, he's doing a lot of damage. 1 versus 2. Icebreaker is chasing for Jazar. He might be able to find himself a kill here with a transfusion. Liam has no mana. He has to jump away. Icebreaker 1 versus 2. Finds himself an outplay and 2 kills.
And they tried to bully him out from under the tower, but it was not enough. Icebreaker comes back into the lane and says, you know what? This is my lane. Forget your entire bottom lane. As Liam and Drazar overstepping and just getting taken down. Icebreaker. Now this top lane is completely wide open once again. And while they are playing opposite sides of the map, again, this was our featured matchup. It's going to be between the 2 of these. And now Arc the Dragon's lead has been removed.
Let's have a little look at this play from a little bit earlier while the double kill was going down. I think KDO just sniped him out with the ace in the hole. No, he didn't. He just set it packing. Don't worry. One thing to note, though, KDO has now picked himself up 1 kill. Yeah, that's kind of impressive. How about 12 plates to himself and first turret blood? This guy is getting exceptionally fed through the objectives on the map. And you can see that is growing a 4k gold lead. And now 1 more light. Flashless needs to dodge away on the binding, but he can't dodge away on that. Now KDO trying to get that damage off in time, but he picks him up nice and simple. Barrage find another kill. And they're probably going to get more plates for their AD carry.
That's what happens when you're in the Caitlyn Morgana lane and you don't have the defensive tools of Sivir Braum. And 1 more light feels the rough end of that one. Does have himself a Ludens picked up, but he can't clear the waves from the Death Chamber, unfortunately. 1 minute left until the turret plates fall. There's only 1 outer turret remaining, and there's only a couple of plates left on it, so KDO and Fastleg to really shove their advantage here, but Monkeys.
Casanero is about to get ulti. That's one thing to note here. He's looking to do a bit to KDO, but has to Arctic Assault away. That plate will hold here for the moment, so not going to be giving 15 plates over to KDO. They've still got 40 seconds to get that. Barrage going to continue the barrage in the mid lane.
It really is. And just taking a look at the completed items on both sides, there's an Infinity Edge already finished for the Caitlyn, and that was finished a while ago. This is before she took all these additional turret plates. She has a fat chunk of gold in her back pocket as well. And, you know, D.Va's not looking too bad himself either. He's currently set about 1,000 gold up, but the story of this game just is Caitlyn. 2,500 gold up over the Sivir. Still has enough to go back, buy a BF sword and boots just straight up, and that is so damn terrifying, because that is exactly what we set up for Barrage as that win condition. To get the Caitlyn ahead early, you have a lot of defensive tools, you have the tools that can keep us safe if you want to siege down on these towers, and the answers just aren't there yet from Belong Stealer.
Alrighty, well, Barrage is going to give this red buff over to KDO, and so they want to get this best of 3 donezo, or at least the first game done for themselves. The Ocean Drake is spawning up. They're not that fussed about that. They've got the mountain. That's the key one here, and KDO does a lot of damage to that headshot onto Liam. This is sending packing, but Casanero and Rosal waiting in the wings. Could be a little dangerous. Don't want to give any shut down gold over to the carries here. He's still got the gangplank just farming away up in this top side of the map, but D.Va might look to do something about this. Already uses the gunblade. Just pin him in place. 5-point strike does a fair amount of damage, but not going to contest for yet. It's just going to be an Ocean Drake pickup here for Barrage. The next one will be a mountain.
3 members, though, for the Steelers moving up towards the top side, looking for D.Va as the trade back for the mountain.
Closing in, Cannon Barrage pins him in place. Shuriken flip, lands onto a minion. D.Va does have himself a zone to hide away in, uses the perfect execution, flashes out, but Liam now getting dived by Monkeys. The tower shot's there. He goes golden underneath the tower as Monkeys holds his life. And so does D.Va. Barrage across the board coming up huge.
D.Va getting out with the perfect execution and the flash. Doesn't have those tools available, but the key target was taken down in mid lane. Liam using the flash, but it's not enough to get away from the Cataclysm. And that stopwatch was so clutch. He got the heal from Triumph as well, just in case there was a tower shot to come through. But Monkeys, once again, just making the Sivir's life a living hell.
I mean, Monk is just making Casanero's life a hell. Look, he walks through his jungle. It's all gone. Don't worry, buddy. You can't get any camps there. Top side's gone for you as well. Monkeys is stealing everything from him. And with Baron spawning up in 4 minutes' time, I expect to see Barrage start to set themselves some vision control around that area of the map and set up to deny any kind of that wave clear we were talking about from the side of the Steelers.
Barrage currently has their vision control line all set around that Drake pit from the earlier mountain. There will be another one spawning at about the same time as the Baron, but as you say, by that point, all the vision should have shifted up towards that top side. That's what they're going to be looking to play around. There is the inner tower still up and available, and D.Va is right back on the ball looking to push that back in. So this time it's one more light who will be contesting. Really, the mid lane is where the main push is happening, because this Caitlyn, this Morgana is so difficult to stop. Caitlyn is going for the Essence Reaver as the second item, so every single headshot will deal insane amounts of damage.
Casanero looking for D.Va here. Can find him out, gets the Winter's Wrath down, pins him in place in the Permafrost. They have an R. Shockwave goes live by one more light. Now D.Va trying to get the fancy footworks going. He's going for the assassination onto one more light. 5-point strike after 5-point strike. One more light has to flash away, and he picks himself up the kill. It was close, but not close enough. Barrage now sieging up in the mid lane. Ricochet is going to start to clear out those waves a little bit. The binding does actually land, and the tower will crumble. Barrage pick up their 4th and extend the gold lead even further.
It's quite vital that they did so, as D.Va did overstep slightly. We just said the vision control was mainly shifted towards the bottom side, so the Belong Steelers have the control in the top side jungle, and D.Va just oversteps his boundaries very slightly.
Oh, that's a dead pirate as he has to flash, but the Cataclysm will pin him in. Cannon Barrage not going to do enough here, because Sparkleg steals away the kill. Barrage get their 11th.
Well, this time Barrage do have their ultimates available, and unfortunately for D.Va, he wasn't able to get out because he didn't have his up, but everybody else does. And Arc the Dragon, you cannot get out of that scenario, especially flashing early. The Cataclysm just locks him down, and there is nowhere for him to go. So after the great start that he had, picking up first blood, getting the second kill in his lane, he is starting to fall behind. He's down about 40 in terms of CS. There is a bounty on just about every member of Barrage, discounting D.Va, who did die quite recently, so we'll pass up on the bounty for that one. But Really just all across the map, it is domination so far for Barrage, and they're looking to just take everything away from the Belong Steelers.
I hate Vladimir. Look how much he used Tides of Blood there. It's on like a 2-second cooldown, I swear. Oh, it's so tilting. It tilts me off the face of the planet. What tilts you?
Uneven chairs, mostly. To be honest, I'm tilted by the fact that Zoe's still a champion. I mean, oh, here we go. KDO.
Ian's trying to go for a fight after KDO.
Oh,
That's
no.
an ulti being whiffed, and oh my lord, that Caitlyn is one-shotting everyone. Now Casanero, he's next up. KDO picks him down with a double kill. Oh lord.
Yeah, that's Infinity Edge Essence Reaver on Caitlyn. A 600 damage headshot crit onto Liam. Just removes any hint of aggression that he was hoping to find. And the missed ultimate from Casanero is the nail in the coffin. Now it's just an easy rotation to the bottom lane just to finish off that tower, just to secure themselves the dominance on this side of the map and make sure that Icebreaker, he can shove in all the way to the inhibitors now. He has a 2-level advantage over Arc the Dragon. There is teleport still available on both top laners, but now if Barrage goes to set up their vision around the Baron, it's pretty much guaranteed that this Vladimir will have the advantage in the push. So he will have the priority when it comes to the teleport locations. So, picking up this Mountain Drake, all it's going to do is make this Baron and all of these turrets, these tower platings fall down even quicker. They've already had 5 20 minutes into the game, giving them an 8,500 gold lead. And with this comp that's built around sieging, Double Mountains is actually... It's not often what you really want to see, but for the side of Barrage, that is such a huge additional boost to their siege potential, to their objective-taking potential as well. And it will look like it's going to be what's next on the cards.
I want to give mad props to the Dragon here, by the way. He hasn't gone for that, you know, Sterix Gauge build. He's going Essence Reaver. This is the crit plank, man. This is the best kind of gangplank.
Yeah, but it's going to take him a while to get there because he built the Hex Drinker early because 2 magic damage dealers on the top side of the map. He got ganked by D.Va once before. And now he knows he's going to be stuck in this 1v1 against Icebreaker, so he's picked up the Executioner's Calling as well. So it's really going to delay the item spikes. So having as much of an early boost as he did with getting the first blood onto Monkeys really hasn't resulted in too much of an actual advantage.
Zar actually very overextended here. Flag and Drag lands onto him, but one more light is coming in. They got that Cataclysm. One more light's been pinned in for the moment. Shockwave onto him. Only up to 2 members, though. As D.Va with a perfect execution executes 2 from the side of the Steelers. And now Casanero is being run down. KDO's damage is doing so much work to him. Headshot after headshot as Monkeys blocks the ulti. Piltover Peacemaker will send Casanero packing. 2 kills for Barrage. And they're actually looking for more.
Icebreaker, what is
Dragon
this?
trying to get that damage on, but it looks like Icebreaker might look to turn it around. The binding's on. Once again, he does it. How does this man keep doing this?
Okay, that's pretty tilting. I think I might be with you on the Vladimir front because Icebreaker, he didn't even teleport in. He just roamed over from the bot lane, strolls in and deletes 2 members.
Casanero, what are you doing there, buddy? It was gone.
Ah, man. It looked like the play from the Steelers was an attempt at maybe finding a pick, whether Barrage trying to move their vision line up towards the top side. They knew that there was going to be members straggling around, placing wards, but they weren't expecting them to be as coordinated as they were, and 3 members immediately collapsing onto Drazar at the start of that fight. And the bait from One More Light and Casanero was not enough to turn it around.
KDO has a Rapid Fire Cannon, Essence Reaver, Infinity Edge. This is 75% crit.
He's a full Infinity Edge up over the Sivir.
This is so rough.
Every member of Barrage has a bounty on their head.
That means one good fight for Steelers. Does mean
It's about
they pull back some of this gold leaders.
About 2,000 gold, but they're down 13,000 gold. 10,000 on the Vladimir, 11,500 on Caitlyn.
Look at this.
Oh, it's the Bush attempt.
They're
It's part
playing
2.
chicken with each other. Oh my lord, who's going to step out first? Who's going to go for the play? Do they know each other's there? This is mad. The bait. Oh, the flag spots them.
They were just waiting for someone to go and try and take the red buff. Well,
might just look
yeah,
for the
go to
ball.
Liam. They're going to do it again.
Casanero has the ulti, catching up to fast leg. They get the knock-up chain CC for days, but he's going to go gold. Who gets the kill? It's going to be a shutdown picked up for Liam. But now the collapse is coming in. Casanero takes
Diva's
the
on the
blast, going
back.
to get out. Icebreaker trying to get that flank. Diva gets a shuriken flip off, but doesn't commit for more.
Again, it's Arc the Dragon who's still on the bot side. Didn't have teleport up, so he's the one that has to roam over on his little leggies this time. And in fact, it is not the Essence Reaver crit blank. It's a more of Malmortia, so an even more defensive build for him.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
I mean, you know you're getting absolutely dunked when you have second
more of
item more.
Malmortia's second item.
Oh, lordy.
And it's not even going to do anything to help against the Caitlyn damage. It's the real tough pill to swallow on that one.
Has he got even, like, boots or anything?
He's got magical boots,
Monk
level
is-
1. Oh, 750 damage crit
Sorry.
onto one more light.
KDO, do you want to chill, buddy?
Jeez. This is what real sniper gameplay should look like.
He's just right-clicking. He's doing so much work. So, one more light actually looking for a flash away. The Hemo Plague actually was used there by Icebreaker, but the siege is being started out. Diva and a shuriken flip onto one. Slides in, goes for the
Diva.
execution onto Art the Dragon, has the shockwave to pin him in place, jumps out and gets himself a kill. A 1-for-1 trade as the inhib falls in the mid lane. Icebreaker now, it's his turn as he gets pinned in place. Not going to actually commit and fully stack up the concussive blows. It's too dangerous for KDO about. Liam has to do some serious wave clear here, but I don't know if he can, because KDO is just going to mince through this tower. Nice and easy. Drazar puts a ball up to try and stop for the moment. Now Icebreaker going 1v1 with Art the Dragon.
Reduced
Has
healing.
got the Tides of Blood. The reduced healing's doing a bit of work, but the barrels are also not going to do enough. Now the Protobelt, and Icebreaker flashes forward and transfuses for the kill.
Just pretty doomed against this Vladimir. What can you do when every time he presses Q, he gets 300 health back, and you haven't built enough damage yet to be able to get through all that additional healing? As he has gone for the defensive build, and it really just is not doing him any favors in the split push war. Thankfully, they do still have both side lane inhibitors up, but just barely hanging on by a thread. And as soon as the Barrage have headed back, bought their new items, reset, and yoinked this third Mountain Drake with their siege comp, those inhibitors do not have long for this world.
Liam hasn't even upgraded his boots yet. He literally just now upgraded his boots. He's got a third BF sword, so he's looking to build towards, but I can only assume it is going to be a Bloodthirster. He has some kind of
IE, but
sustain.
that's
an
super
IE.
optimistic.
They actually do look to find out Drazar here. He does have a stand beside me, uses the ulti, lands a knock up on the KDO, but with the net in the face, Liam is going to have to run away towards his support, but now Diva comes in, picks him up with a 5-point strike. The slows are coming down. Shuriken flip back. They're going to look to catch out Diva, but it's not enough. That's a double kill for him. Shuriken flips away from the tower, goes golden. Now they've got a redemption to heal him up. The barrel is going to land onto 2. Shockwave onto 3, though, by one more light. Art the Dragon still has to land some barrels, still has to land some damage, but it gets taken out by KDO. And Barrage are now looking to push up for more. They don't have Baron anymore, but they got supers pushing in from this mid wave. Health bars are still a wee bit low, though. Art the Dragon trying to do as much damage with those Qs as he can, but KDO is just going hard here. Barrage will do nothing as KDO is godlike in this game. Tower number 1 is going to go down. Tower number 2 soon to follow. The traps are going to land onto the Braum as he is pinned in place. Drazar is melted through. Fastleg jumps onto the Nexus, onto the fountain. He gets picked up. Inhibitor goes down. Nexus goes down. 27 minutes on the clock. Barrage stamp the Steelers.
And that final push, the entire thing was 4v5. Icebreaker was on his way back, walking from his own base on the Vladimir, and still it's enough for almost a clean ace for Barrage and to pick up the first game of the series. Those guys played this so incredibly well.
You got to be feeling incredible if you're Barrage coming out of that win, but it is still a best of 3. So could be an off game here for the Steelers, but
Yeah,
I feel like once...
I think it could be.
Is that the right way around? Oh yeah, it is. It is the right way around. But keep in mind, if Barrage do win this 2-0, just as convincing as that does show us, a relative kind of strength. As it's quite hard to actually judge because this isn't the same Barrage roster we saw in the summer split. There's a lot of changes happening here. There's only 2 returning players for this roster, so you know, this might be a new revitalized and refreshed Barrage coming into Forge of Champions.
I certainly hope so, and it definitely looks as though they have all their cards on the table at the right time, with pushing into the enemy jungle, contesting their vision as a team, and turning around the attempted little Death Bush kind of style plays. They weren't falling for any of that, so Barrage definitely well played and very clean execution.
Well, fantastic play there by Barrage, but in Forge of Champions, it's all about best of 3, so we've still got potentially 2 more games to go for this series. So we're going to cut to a quick break, and when we're back with game 2, so don't go anywhere. See you in a sec.